Hello, I'm NeoGet, and welcome to Snuggle Truck. This is a wonderful little game available on both Steam and on Android devices. It might be available on iOS, I'm not sure. I forgot to actually look that up before I started, I'm very sorry for that. It's available in two forms on Android. There's both Snuggle Truck and Smuggle Truck. Pretty much the same, just with different graphics. Not that that's a bad thing, there's a great amount of replayability in this game, and it is quite nice to see it with the two different appearances. So you can control this game either by controller or by keyboard and mouse. I find the menus are actually easier using the mouse, however the levels I prefer with the controller. You wiggle the stick on the controller, it will start moving, and always the tutorial when you start is the only thing available to make sure you actually play it. You can either go sideways to get onto it or hit A, both work, or just have it selected with the mouse and you can just click play level. So you can do it whichever way you prefer, but I'm going to try using just the controller as I find the levels so much easier that way. And then just got to remember what the controls were, because unfortunately the tutorial doesn't actually swap to controls for the controller here. So up and down arrow keys for accelerate and brake, that's reflected with the left and right triggers, so right accelerates, left slams the brakes on quite successfully. And then if I stop the truck again a second so you can see it better, I can wobble the truck using the analog stick. That's required for in the air control, and so you just need to keep the truck the right way up in the air in order to lose as few of your passengers as possible. Here a baby comes up in the air. Anytime you go past that sign you can see on the left in a level, a baby will be launched into the air. You'll get in this slow-mo when it's about to hit the ground, or you as the case may be, in order to try and give you a bit more fine control to actually catch the baby. You can adjust your speed slightly. Hitting space or the A button then activates any power-ups you pick up. This one's very useful because it gives you a huge speed boost, but also locks your passengers in so you can't lose them in the time. Now there's only one medal for the tutorial level, just in case of you played it, you get there. So, he says click anywhere to continue. Oops. If you hit B, you accidentally back out and have to replay the tutorial. Let's just do that quickly. This time we'll just rush through the tutorial. Doesn't really matter in the tutorial how many passengers you still have, as it's just a case of get to the end and the game's happy with you. You can throw yourself in the air, too much, and throw all your passengers out. It's especially common to throw all your passengers out on landing, I've found. So let's just turn that on, get through the end into the zoo. There we go, and this time we won't hit B and cancel ourselves out. So where he appears and says click anywhere to continue, unfortunately you sort of have to swap to the mouse for this. Now this is very important for the replayability of this game. You have the levels that exist in the game, levels you've created, and levels that you can select that are downloaded off the internet to play whenever you like. And although it says click anywhere to continue, I seem to be having to click on the actual thing. Not sure why, but I was messing around earlier before I reset the data for the video and couldn't actually get it to forward any other way. So there we go. Now it's just leave us alone to play. As you can see here, each level has these medals available. The first three are just for getting to the end, with normally one passenger within certain time limits. The arc is for rescuing all the passengers, but if you pick up a baby, you can actually lose a passenger because it just goes by the overall count, not by the exact people that you've got with you. So, bit of leeway there. And then you've got one here that normally requires you to have very few passengers left at the end, but has quite a strict time limit on it. So if we jump into this level, nice little countdown so you can get yourself comfortable to start, and then you just head in. The first couple of levels can be completed just by holding down the acceleration and letting the game go. And so we should end this one quite quickly. We've got the power up, so let's just shove that on, jump in the air, and nicely the game fully recognises that you've passed the exit even though you were in the air over the flagpole. And there we've unlocked all the medals for the first level. It's a very simple one, just sort of makes sure that you've got the controls down. The second one again, very much so, lets you just keep holding accelerate, and you shouldn't have any trouble with it. Introduces a few more of the graphics though that you can see in the game. The nighttime option is lovely, missed that. And there you've got things like the pit that had the log in it, so you can actually drive over that log. It's a solid object, so you won't fall in the pit. It's one of those nice things you can actually do when making levels. And so I really like the options when making levels to use different items instead of just terrain to drive on. Lots of ramps and things that you can play with. And so if we keep going through the available levels, you should see some more of the interesting things. And you have a huge array of different things you can pick. Missed again. That's okay, so here you go, you can see that there's a ramp there that if I was going a bit slower I would have been driving on, and there was a rock that bounced my truck around, which unfortunately lost me a passenger. And then some TNT at the end, just to sort of introduce that. So as you can see there, I didn't succeed in getting the ARP, but I can go back in, play the level a little bit slower. As you can see, it brings up what the next medal is that you need to achieve. You can also click through the medals to see what you need, and in under infinite seconds, all it cares about is me getting to the end with 9 or more passengers. As I start with 9, as I said, I can drop a couple, pick up the babies instead, and it's absolutely fine. Failed to get that one, however, so let's keep going. It doesn't matter if I don't get any of them, but it's always nice if you do. Now I've got to be very careful of that rock, as I've got no spare passengers. Some of the levels from here onwards are quite tough to complete with all your passengers in. The Ark and the speed one, which I can't remember the name of, are speedrun, there we go, are both quite tough to get, whereas the first 3 are generally quite easy. So now this one is another outdoors one, but then I think the next one might be in the mines, which is a third environment that you can be in. Often a lot of the hardest levels are found in the mines. Now one of the problems of catching the babies is you often end up with a lot more in the back of your truck than you can really keep a hold of. So they will rest on top of the other animals and keep trying to sort of bounce out very easily. If you go up a steep hill, they might just roll out the back. So as you can see, I completed the first 3 no problem, failed to get the speed medal. Just that little bit too slow because I was being a bit careful. But let's move on and go into the sub-railway to show you this one. Now one of the fun things you can do here is set off the TNT right at the start if you manage to reverse into it. I failed there. Sometimes it falls towards you, which is just quite entertaining to cause the explosion right at the start. That there's a point that I always manage to mess up in this level and in similar levels, where if you're going too fast you hit the ceiling of the cave, which just causes you to lose your passengers. If you go too slow there, you'll hit the TNT, set that off, causing a nice explosion. Some levels actually, a lot of player made levels, I mean, rely upon the TNT for you to be able to do things, but we can now hop on through the medium levels that are unlocked. So let's pick a random one of these and just take through this one. It should be much harder. As you can see, you slam down, you've got to be very careful about the angle of your truck on landing, because you will lose your passengers quite easily on levels like this. And there's the TNT throwing out nearly all my passengers. So one of them needs to shuffle in, there we go. It's always the problem with TNT that if you're not expecting it, you do tend to lose a lot of your passengers to it. But then we can just keep going, try to make sure we land at a good angle to the terrain. And we complete the level at least. Probably not going to get a lot of medals for that one, just the first medal there. You can always tell instantly when you come out of a level which ones you got, because the sort of dimmed version of the medal won't be there until the animation then brings in the completed one. So let's hop over to the level creator. Just to show you how this works, we are going to create a desert level just because it's nice and bright, much better for showing on YouTube. So here we go, we've got the end and we've got the beginning. And then you can just pick a bit of terrain, drop it in where you want it. This line shows, I do apologise, this line shows where you have placed things so far. Just click and it will extend the level, and then you can pick a variety of different things. You can insert them before other things you've done as well. It's very helpful. Click and drag and you can move the level around. So then you've got a whole array of different bits of terrain that you can add, and if you add multiple pieces it will always make sure they line up so that you can have this continuous bit of the map. And there we go, we've created something, and then we can, there's a duplicate option, you can select ones, move them around and things. It's all very good. I can change how steep I want that to be, so let's just leave that. Duplicate the selections if you want to and things really easily. So these are all just different ground options. There's quite a few different options here, so you can make a lot of different things. And then you just throw in some decorations. So I'm going to chuck in one of those. Oops, I've accidentally clicked off the window. Hopefully that's not going to cause too much trouble in the video. I'm going to put down a warning sign. If I use the mouse wheel, I can scroll in, sort of fix the positioning of the sign a bit, just warning you about the sudden drop there. And then, as is often useful, just for flavour, put something in the difficult bit of terrain, just as a bit of sort of interest. And then the obstacles, these are all actually physical. The vehicle will hit them and interact with them. This one's quite fun, as you can put something under it. So let's grab a stump, and then you can make it actually make sense as to why it's at its angle. You can change the size of them, I believe. I could be slightly wrong there, but I think it is possible. I'm just not quite remembering where you click for that. I've only actually made levels on the Android version, not on this one. So let's try and get rid of this. So click the X, there we go. Yeah, there's lots of things. These ones have different properties. They automatically move in certain ways. And as you can see then, there was actually an option there to change the size of the obstacle. You can make it absolutely ridiculous if you so wish. And then we have the special things, which are the power-ups you can get. The net, which just chucks a net on the back of your vehicle. The rocket, which you've seen in the levels already, and the babies, which bounce up and get thrown into your truck. So we've got that. We'd like to test the level now. So we'll pick up the controller again, head forward, and just make our way through, pick up the little animal, and try and make it up the jump. There we go. And we've successfully completed our basic test level. So we know that that's a nice and easy level to do. Now I'm going to leave the level creator there, because it would take me quite a while to make a really good hard level. But let's go back to the level creator, and not the creator, the selector, and select a nice one from the community. So here we go, we've got newest, top rated, saved, which is ones that you've enjoyed. You can click save, I think, or no, they're just automatically saved when you play them. Go back to play them again. Much easier to find ones that you've enjoyed that way. So there we go. If we click the top rated, we'll then just quickly download the list. pick one of them and hit play. And that will load up. And now we'll be taking on something that someone else has actually created. So, let's do that. They've created a nice loop there, taking advantage of the special power to force the vehicle to go fast enough to get round. And lots of use of available decorations in order to make this look quite good. So, as you can see, this one, quite an easy level in some respects, not always in others. Lost quite a few of the passengers there, but I kept one, which meant I could complete the map. If you lose every passenger, the level automatically ends itself. So there we go, we succeeded. Let's pick another one of the top ones. Now, as I have not actually checked what current top rated levels are, so I have no idea what I'm supposed to be expecting here. So with a lot of top levels, the expectation is that you just sort of keep the accelerator down and run forward. Now, because I didn't keep activating the power-ups, I ran out of the speed at the wrong time and hadn't balanced my vehicle. So let's just keep activating the power-ups every time the old one's running out. We always seem to pick up a new one in plenty of time. Not sure if that will continue as these loops are getting bigger, but we're doing pretty well here. So let's keep it going and see what happens. A lot of levels aren't actually quite as easy as these two that I've chosen. These two more focusing on having fun with things you can do in the creator. Did quite well there though. So there we go. Let's see if we can pick one that might be a little bit harder. Not sure. So let's head onwards. Bash into the ceiling there. And see what happens. Oop, we're getting bogged down there. Okay, so that was actually easy like it said it would be, just didn't manage to get any of the babies. Still got all the medals though, because the Ark always just asks for the number you started with, not for a number including picking up. So let's click new, which can sometimes be a little bit more difficult as they're not actually rated, they're just new. And we'll see what happens instantly. Rock 2. Sorry, instantly a Rock 2 messes up. Oh dear. Whew. Wasn't quite expecting the TNT to come down then. Oh dear. Apparently that's a theme of this map. I did find when I was playing this on Android that TNT was a very big theme. So hopefully... Oh dear, we're going to have problems with the landing. There we go. Oh. Okay, we're still okay. We've still got passengers. Luckily, the actual terrain on this obstacle isn't the pattern of the horns, so we've survived with a few passengers left. Not sure how much more there is. Not a lot according to the mini-map in the corner. Just had a quick glance up. So, we've not managed to rescue many. I threw in another surprise there at the end, but we made it. That was actually quite a fun level. It would be quite fun trying to actually get the medals on that one. Obviously, you're supposed to use the TNT to your advantage for that one. So let's go back to the top rated, load another few, and see what we can achieve quickly. So this one's called Fuzzies, so there should be a lot of the babies in this one. So let's see what happens when we start it up. Oh goodness. I'm not seeing any of the signs. But yes, there are an awful lot of babies. Oh, there's the pilot signs. Whew, goodness, it's actually... The game is getting very overloaded with the number of slowdowns from the landings there. Oops, dropped a couple. Bit too full in the back of the truck there. But we've still got enough to complete the level. Oh, try not to lose any more. Come on. Oh no, we've lost another one. Please behave. Ah, oh, No, I wanted to end with 9. That's okay though. I think if I hadn't held down the accelerator, it would have actually been possible to catch a lot more of those. But there we go. So let's pick another one. Quite enjoyed that one. I do like the levels in the top section there. And so let's quickly do one more and then I will round up this video. So let's go for TNT Nation. Oh goodness. It's instantly started with an awful lot of attempts to kill us. Awful lot of babies bouncing around as well. That's actually kind of useful in some ways. As, oh no, we've lost everything. We've caught a couple, that's okay then. There we go. We still have 6 left in the truck. Oh dear. This could be a problem. Yep. Straight up in the air. Lost another one. Lost several actually. Oh dear. There aren't actually any left in the truck, are there? Nope, there are. They're just hiding. Obviously, it's babies. But we're okay. We've just got to try and get past this TNT. But slight problems with an inability to accelerate there. Oh, goodness, that threw us in the air quite high. Wow. I love the way it zooms out the higher you get, so that you get more of an impression of the height. It's quite nice. Lets you actually see that yes, the floor really is that far away. And there we go, we've got past that TNT, straight into the next pile. A lot of babies being thrown into the air on this pile. Oh. We've caught a few of them, but I'm not sure we're going to keep them. Oh. Now we've just got to try and get through this lot. I'm not sure how they expect me to complete this one in 70 seconds. Due to the lack of forward motion. There's obviously correct points at which to accelerate and places to land in order to get thrown forward. So as you can see, we've lost nearly all of those new babies. Hopefully we can get a couple more. There we go. That was quite difficult to actually make any progress on that one. There's an awful lot of levels that require you to work out how to get around the TNT issue. But there's a lot of fun to be found in them because of how hard they are. Now if I'd wanted to, I could actually upload this level, but I'm not going to because, as I say, it was just the quick attempt at showing you how to create one. And there's quite a lot of actual levels that just come with the game, as you can see. And these really do actually get quite hard. You know, there's a lot of difficulty in them, and because of the medal system and things, a lot of replayability in it. So, you know, I love this game, and it's one of many really good games by Alchemy Labs. I'm going to be featuring a few of their other games in the upcoming weeks. I think After the Awesome is the next one that I'm going to be doing. I've had that one downloaded in Steam for a while, haven't opened it yet, but keep meaning to actually get on and try that one out. It's really highly recommended, so you should be seeing that soon. But this game, really good fun. You know, the cute aspect of the little stuffed animals trying to get into the zoo is just such a lovely decision for the graphics that they made there. I do prefer Snuggle Truck over Smuggle Truck because it's just that little bit cuter. You know, so really is worth picking this game up. I will, as always, provide links to pick it up in the description of the video if you'd like to check it out. Because, as I say, there really are a lot of hours of replayability in this, and both the PC and the Android version really easy to control. Android version, you tilt your device in order to control it, whereas, as I said, the PC version, you have the keyboard or the controller options. You know, but it helps to keep your mouse available if you're using a controller, just because it makes the menus that little bit easier. So, I hope you've enjoyed the look at Snuggle Truck, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.